So I guess this next one, man, this is kind of interesting, man. We put out our Jurassic World Dominion episode. And also, we talked about a film on there. At least I did, called RRR, and it was interesting. In the comments, we got a lot of recommendations, and two people came in with comments. They appreciated the RRR review. Shout out to y'all. But they also, two of them recommended this film as well as some other ones. But this came up on both recommendations, and it's a film called Sardar Udham, and this is a film. It's based on the life of Udham Singh, and it's a historical period piece. And he was a freedom fighter from Punjab, this area in India, and he assassinated a guy named Michael Dwyer in London. So basically, there was a massacre that happened in India in 1919 where a bunch of peaceful protesters were gathered, and the guy Michael O'Dwyer, who was a British guy, was in charge of this. He was the mayor at the time or whatever, and he shows up with the troops. I guess at this moment the rule was no meetings, no public gatherings, and these people were staging a peaceful protest, and he rolls up with no warning. Like, this interesting scene in the movie, they depict this, and he says, and he's like, "You're not gonna give him no warning." He's like, "Well, the warning was the rule. We already told him there's no meetings." And he just says, "Open fire." And these people are just sitting down, they're chilling, listening to a speaker talk, and boom, they just start firing into the crowd, and they say between 400 and 1,200 people were killed in this, man. I'm talking about men, women, and children. Yeah.
Jeez.
So what ends up happening, the guy that this movie is based on, Udham Singh, goes on a mission. Like, he essentially goes from India through Russia, eventually ends up in London, and basically goes there, takes on an identity, living and just, going about his daily routine, but also plotting to assassinate this guy Michael Dwyer, and he ends up actually succeeding in that assassination in 1940. Like, this is a real event. So the movie starts pretty much with that assassination, and then they take him into custody, and then it kind of jumps back in time, showing us what happened at the massacre and all this other stuff. I mean, eventually he was hanged, but it's an interesting piece of history that I never knew anything about, and I will say it is available on Prime Video. Our main star in here is a guy named Vicky Kaushal, and he does a great job playing playing Udham Singh, and it goes through what he went through to get to there. Like basically, he had to go in around about a way to get to England, even like going through Russia and then traveling around and then getting back around to entering the country under an assumed identity. And basically, they know that a guy is trying to get into London, but they just lose him in the bureaucracy. I mean, it's 1940s, 30s, 20s, whatever. So intelligence wasn't that great, and they just eventually forget about him until he pulls off the assassination. But I think what's really great too is this guy doesn't break, dude. They're doing everything, man. We're talking about British Scotland Yard, and they say we're gonna get it out of you one way or another, and they don't. Like, I'm talking about when they first get him in, it's just straight interrogation. He's not even giving him his name, and then finally, even months later, they're still trying to get an intel from him. Who are you with? And dude, this guy's taking it, just all kinds of crazy torture you could think of. They shove a hot poker under his nails, bro. Dude doesn't break. He never gives anyone up. Takes his punishment, gets hanged eventually. But then, I think one of the more powerful moments, one of the interrogators is talking to him, and he gets out of him. So, you weren't even there during the massacre, so why are you here? And he was like, "Yeah, I arrived a moment, like a little bit later after the massacre." So basically, we get we see the massacre, which is brutal, bro. Like, I'm talking like it's nasty, bro. When you see what happened, you're just like, damn, bro. Humans are foul, bro. But then he arrives and he's there taking care of the people, like he's bringing dead children to their mothers who are also shot. Like, it's messed up, bro. When you look at this shit, like it's not an easy watch in that regard, But I will say this: is well made, it's well acted. It is a lengthy film. It took me like maybe about 2 days to watch it. It comes in at an hour, 162 minutes. So, so what's that? That's almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I definitely have to watch this in parts, but it was worth my time with it, man. Like, it's really well acted, well produced. Cinematography is great, and I learned something that I didn't know. I mean, according to a lot of historians, this was the event that massacre that ultimately led to the bigger push for India getting its independence from Britain, from Great Britain.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was good, man. Like I definitely enjoyed, my time with it, man. So I can recommend you checking it out, especially if you got Amazon Prime Video. It is on there right now. And it was a film that was also it got the green light, but the production was delayed because of the pandemic. So it eventually was released in October of 2021, but now it's on Prime Video. But yeah, it's called Sardar Udham.